This is the activity which goes with lesson 25 in your friendly chemistry course. In lessons 22, 23, and 24, your students will have been predicting the amount of product they could make from a known amount of ingredient. And those ingredients could have been given in moles or given in grams. In lesson 25, we're going to look at the situation just a little differently. The goal of lesson 25 for your students is to be able to determine if they have enough ingredient or reactant available to make a desired amount of product. Let's pretend that you've been assigned to bring 3 dozen cookies to a party. In order to be able to make those 3 dozen cookies, you'll have to go into your pantry and determine if you have enough ingredients available. This is the same kind of situation we have here in lesson 25. You'll be asked to prepare a certain amount of product, and then based upon the amount that are being asked to prepare, you'll have to determine how much ingredient it's going to take. Again, in this activity, we'll use the s'mores ingredients. And then if you plan on cooking s'mores one more time with your students, you'll need the heat source here. Okay, so with these problems, what you'll need, obviously first off, is your recipe or your chemical reaction here. And again, we've got our recipe of 2 graham crackers and 1 chocolate bar, 1 marshmallow makes 1 s'more. So if you ask your students, well, I want to make 1 s'more, can they tell you how many ingredients they have? Well, of course, it's easy to see that it's just the balanced reaction here. But tell them that instead of making 1 s'more, you want to make enough for everybody in the classroom. So have them count how many students are in your class, or if you want to have them say you need to make a s'more for everyone in your family, let's say that they need to make 10 s'mores. So that's the desired amount of product, and we'll say this is 10 moles of s'mores. Okay, so if they want to make 10 moles of s'mores, how many chocolate bars will it take? Well, your students will say, well, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. To make 1 s'more, it takes 1 chocolate bar. So we can say, since it's a 1-to-1 ratio, if we want to get out 10 s'mores, we're going to have to put in 10 chocolate bars, 10 CBs here, 10 chocolate bars. Okay? You can then say, well, how many graham crackers will it take to make those 10 s'mores? And again, they should say, well, if we look at our ratio, we know it takes 2 graham crackers for every 1 s'more. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. If we want to get out 10 s'mores, it's going to take twice as many of that, so it's going to take 20 graham crackers. Okay, so again here, first we're looking at a desired amount in moles. Okay, since we're in moles, we can go straight to our mole ratio here. And then based on that ratio, we can determine how much ingredient it's going to take. Now, in some of the problems here in this lesson, your students will say, or your student will be asked to predict, or do you have enough ingredient, okay, to make a certain amount of grams of product. Okay, so they're saying, say for example, you need to make 500 grams of sodium chloride. How much sodium will it take? Okay, so if they're starting in grams here, before they can go to their mole ratio, they need to convert these grams into moles first, which means they'll need a formula weight here of that particular product, and then once they get the formula weight of it, they divide the desired amount by that formula weight. They'll tell them the number of moles that they need to make. Then they can go to the mole ratio and determine how much ingredient will be necessary. Okay, that mole ratio will tell them the number of moles it will take. All right, and then in some of these problems they'll say, well, I want to know how many grams it will take. So then again, they'll take those number of moles they said it would take and convert it back into grams of ingredient. Right? So in that case, they'll be being asked to prepare a certain amount of grams and then be able to tell you how many grams of ingredient it will be required. Okay, so this is the s'mores activity, which goes with lesson 25 in your course, where your students will be asked to tell you the amount of necessary ingredient it takes to produce a desired amount of product.